Ooh, I hear you.
Gear.
Gear.
Sometimes it works.
Most of the time it doesn't.
Most of the time it's like, oh, that was a cool idea.
You guys gigging a lot?
Yes.
Nice. That's what it seemed like.
Huh?
That's what it seemed like,
Yes.
but I wasn't sure.
Yes.
So let's, should we blast off?
Let's blast off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest intro of all time. To the greatest podcast, America's #1 podcast. You can just make claims like that.
And blast!
BandHouse Podcast, a podcast for musicians. A podcast specifically for Seattle-based musicians, at least for now. I don't plan on moving, but you never know what's going to happen in life. Anyway, with us here we have the Meghanne Storey Project. That's Meghanne and Buck. Woo!
She's Meghanne. I'm the project.
Nice.
That was my favorite joke. I saw that video. she's like, this is the Meghanne Storey Project. I'm Meghanne. That's Project. I'm
That's
like,
really
nice.
good.
Nice.
So it's just two of y'all then?
At this point.
Yeah, you looking to get a drummer and bass and stuff? I think it's what, you guys play guitar or just guitar and sing?
It's pretty much just me on guitar, her singing.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, looking for other musicians right now or just doing the duo?
Probably eventually, but right now the duo's working fine. So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, tell us about it. What's current? What are you guys doing? Recording, playing gigs, right?
All kinds of stuff. Yeah, recording.
You gotta talk into your mic though.
We're working.
Oh yeah, you can move that around and fumble it, and
Jeez, singer.
you can make all the noise in the world, and it still won't be too much.
It won't be too much.
No, because Steven's gonna do twice as much.
Real quick.
Oh yeah,
real quick.
Hit it.
Won't you please subscribe to our YouTube and Patreon, and please hit like and leave a comment. Just a quick one because we got a guest.
That's beautiful, though. I realized the song you did right there.
Very nice.
Yeah, he likes to pitch the subscribe as a song, and we go thematically. Did you guys recognize that melody?
You do ours next.
What was your guys' song? I don't remember the melody, but I do remember one of the song that I listened to was super cool because it was a 1-5-6-4.
Of course.
But the 4, they did a major 7.
Oh, good. Oh, I love
so it was like, ooh.
As long as you do one chord away from it, like you can have that progression, and then you do another thing, and it's like the best song.
I want to say it was the one where you guys made that joke. Why can't I remember the name?
Better than I got. All I know is I listened to you guys do Far Behind, Candlebox.
Yeah.
And I was like, woohoo! I was like, they can come over.
Yep.
This is tight. I love Candlebox so much. I just watched a video from last year, and I couldn't tell because phone video, but his voice sounded badass. Mm-hmm. He looks like the dude, Big Lebowski.
Yes.
But he still sounds
like him.
Youthful and aggressive. Like
Candlebox is fantastic, man.
What's his name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
We actually saw them. They did an acoustic show at the Neptune about a year ago. All original lineup.
Super badass.
So you really know the truth. What'd they play? What kind of... I mean, that first album.
So this was their tour on their Lucy album. But they still played a lot from that first album.
I don't know anything besides the first album.
That's a lot of people. That's
still one of my favorite. Yeah, a lot of people have that opinion too. That one album is enough. Like
I know.
Audio Slave for me too. One album, and I'm a huge fan. Yeah.
I only know that first album from Candlebox, but it's one of my favorite albums of all time. 100%.
Where was that?
They played at the Neptune Theater. They did the acoustic show.
Or sorry, when you guys covered it, I should specify what I'm talking about.
We've covered it so many times.
Oh yeah.
That was when we started. That was one of the first ideas. I was like, "Hey, Far Behind," and she said yes.
Yeah.
I almost got hit by a bus the first time I heard that song.
Oh, so it
and I've had that arrangement in my head for forever.
Sweet.
I wanted a female singer. I wanted to slow it down.
Yeah.
And she said yes. And I said,
that was
cool,
great
let's do it
too
like this.
because it was. Steven's a stickler on covers too, but I think he was into it.
You guys sounded great on that.
Because you didn't change it too much, but you didn't do it exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
As I tell everybody, I'm not good enough to do it exactly note for note.
That's a nice, humble thing to say, too.
You took a tasteful amount of liberties.
Yeah, that's a nice way.
Okay, yeah.
Nice little. Would you rather someone take too many liberties or not enough liberties on a cover? Like, would you rather be plastic and exact, or just way raunchy? I think I know the answer.
I think if I had to choose between way too much or none at all, I would go none at all.
Because you're basic as fuck.
I'm so basic. But
I agree with you in this specific thing, because I don't need anything too crazy, maybe.
I think for me, it just depends. But like for most of the time, it's like you playing the song is enough of a swing on the song, because it's like...
Because you're not the person?
Yeah, it's a different sound already, right?
True.
So if you start going ham on everything, it's like...
It's a respectable take. What do you guys think?
Well, in that case, I had to arrange it for a single acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So I had to cut the solo portion out because I can't do both.
Right.
So, and the lead guitar plays that line the whole time through. And sometimes they have a secondary guitar playing the chord line. So I just...
Right.
I played it once because you have to have that opening line.
Right.
And then I go into the chords so she can sing. And
dude, I didn't even really notice, so good job.
Stand back and let her do her thing.
Yep.
And what is that? What is your thing?
Oh, I sing. I mean, I play instruments too, but my hands don't work like they used to. So I sing a lot, yeah.
Respect. So what got you into singing?
I think I was born singing.
Tight.
Pretty sure.
Good.
Yeah, I was about 3 the first time. My parents told this story about the Jesus Christ Superstar soundtrack record that we had. Like, I knew every single word.
Nice.
Yep. Yep.
Love that melody.
I do too. There's a couple on there that are pretty good, actually.
I probably know of all of them, but not by name, only peripherally.
Yeah, it's been a long... I can't tell you the names of them anymore. I mean, I barely remember the words. It's been a while since I've listened to them.
I've only seen that movie one time. Carolyn loves that movie, but I think
Are you talking about...
I've never seen the movie.
Are you talking about that right movie?
I think so.
Jesus Christ
Superstar?
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of them. They did like a live action play with Alice Cooper playing Judah a couple of years ago.
That'd be tight.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was like 2000, maybe 2012, 13 maybe.
Nice.
Do you remember when that was? Was that the one that Sebastian Bach did the lead into? Or is that
Holy God.
I can't remember.
That's so much.
I remember.
So much.
It was
Sebastian
awesome.
Bach is great.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. They did this that year. They did like a whole bunch of live action like plays. Like they did like a Carrie Underwood did The Sound of Music that year, and then they did the Alice Cooper.
Dude, I just saw The Sound of Music, but I've only seen the first half, and it ends. Everything's fine. So
perfect.
It's a great movie.
The first half.
Good songs, but yeah, and then it goes literally, it's like intermission or something. It's an old movie, right? So it says like part 1 is over. Like it literally let you know, and then like everybody was tired and like, I will watch the next part tomorrow, but I had stuff to do, so I missed part 2, and I'll never probably sit down and watch it again. So
you missed
nothing ever happens. It's a peaceful time. There's a guy that comes over. He's a little bit older, but he's probably not a Nazi.
Too many kids.
It's like that. It's like the episode of The Office where
a bunch of kids sing.
Where Erin keeps losing to Scrabble, and so she keeps having to watch horror films. She's like, but I like the first part of the movies where they have like a happy family.
Yeah. Those are the scariest part for me because I know what's coming.
You know it's coming.
Yeah. So where's your guys' last gig, most recent gig? Where'd you guys play?
Well, we put it together on December 17th at the Odd Otter in Tacoma.
Oh, nice.
And then Tuesday night, I was out in Bremerton. I did a singer-songwriter showcase. And then on the 21st, we'll be out in Gig Harbor at Seven Seas Brewery.
Oh, tight.
And we got stuff after that, too.
Nice.
We're kind of all over the place.
That's great.
Yes.
What's the set list like on these gigs?
Mostly originals.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we write a lot of original music. There's a few covers in there, like, but when it comes to the covers, like, I have a thing about covers. Like, I don't want to sing it exactly word for word, partly because, like, you're not that good. I'm not that good. I can't really sing a lot, like, exactly note for note, everything that everybody does with all the innuendos and everything. I mean, even though I was a choir kid, like, no. But,
yes, she can.
I was gonna say, I was like, "What? You gotta be kidding me!" Like,
don't tell my secrets.
It's a nice.
It's like I saw, at least a couple of your guys' videos. Like, damn! Like, I thought you sang incredibly.
Nice.
I'm a good singer. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not good. I don't want to. I interpret the song different. Like I hear it and I hear something different. I hear him talking about something different. I see a different conversation between the people. So when I cover it, I sing it the way that I hear it and the way that I interpret it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I got a question. When you cover it, when you learn the song, is it a song, if you cover a song, is it a song you already know by heart, or do you have to sit down and listen to lines over and over and kind of learn the song?
Depends on the song.
Right.
Like, I know a lot of songs.
Because those processes of learning new songs is so weird, because it's just like, I can, like you said, you didn't remember the melody because you probably listened to it one time. It takes like 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You can listen to a melody, and then all of a sudden it's in my hands, it's in my voice. Yeah. But if you can't get through the first 4, 5 times, it's discouraging sometimes, at least for me. So that's what I was asking.
Yeah, no, I have, sometimes when I'm learning a new song, I have a really hard time focusing on the second half. Like, you'll get to the bridge, especially if there's like an instrumental there and there's
You're like,
no
repeat,
words.
it'll just repeat. And
I'm
then
like,
there's the bridge.
yeah, okay. And then I'm done. And then they're singing again. I'm like, oh crap, I was supposed to be.
Yep.
I feel that.
Well, and
too.
there's also like a complacency. Like, anytime I learn a song, it's the same thing. You get like your first verse, you nail the chorus down, and that's like your first, like, all right, I did it, right? But then it's hard to jump back into, oh crap, I don't know the second verse, and you go right back to the bottom of like, dang it, and like the frustration.
You know who really knows about that struggle? Asia.
Oh, you talking about the gig? What was that song?
Can't stop the feeling.
Oh yeah.
So last minute, and I take full responsibility.
Yeah.
Last minute before this gig, it was last summer. It was an outdoor Sunrise Village festival. So much fun, good times, outdoor fucking party times. And Asia was a friend of ours who's going to sing some songs. Her mom's the booker, so she's always at all the gigs, and she always comes up and sings a few songs every year. So this time we planned the song, but then right before it, I was like, I don't want to sing the first verse, and I was like, do you want to do first and second verse? And she's like, sure. And she looked so confident that I didn't feel bad. And then we got up there, and she did okay on the first verse, and then I think forgot the second verse, ironically, but roasted. And I wanted to never forget.
Roasted. Do better, Asia.
There it is.
Yeah, well, hold on now, because sometimes
Dude, it was fine. I thought it was
the
fine.
words just are gone, and it's like, oh crap, I'm just going to sing the first verse again.
I do that more times than it's humanly possible, but she did it in front of people watching. My gigs is background music usually, so it's like...
It's a thing where we don't expect you to do good when it comes to lyrics. You always forget lyrics. Asia doesn't do that.
So much I do.
I expect
it's not
better.
even a roast. It's
I expect better from Asia. You, I kind of already know. It's like, this ain't going to go well.
Yeah, that's actually true. That's pretty true.
Well, you know what to expect. That's always good.
I don't listen to words, so it doesn't matter.
Same.
Oh my gosh.
That's 3 out of 4 of us in here. Then I imagine.
You're speaking my language.
I imagine you're a lyricstress, and then the rest of us are just
yes, I always listen to the
tune
lyrics.
jockeys.
I have no idea what our songs are about.
Nice.
They're just notes.
Nice.
Nice.
That is awesome.
1, 5, 6, 4, and then instead of the 4, what did he do?
It was a major 7.
Chord as a 4 chord was a
Yeah,
major
so
7?
like if you're, I don't know if it was in C or not, but he would have done. He
pretend
did
it
an
was
F.
for-
He did an F major 7.
Beautiful.
Music
Yeah.
nerds. You gotta love it.
Oh, so good.
So it's like
See, I do that for you.
Yeah.
See,
99% of people have no idea what I'm doing,
They
but
don't
I know there's one person that does.
Something
That's
about that's Lydian. You put the root back on the bottom and play those notes. We were just talking about Lydian before
I
this.
think that's Lydia.
Shut up, dude.
No,
It was.
because even that major 7. I mean, it's
You know what I love is
it's
talking
in
music when there's people who don't know, and we'll just segue into shit that's definitely not even true anymore. But no one's gonna know the difference.
That's half the battle right there. Just,
know.
Right.
just be confident. Like, you know.
Yeah, I'm like 1564 is 102% of every song ever written.
So that's actually true though.
The thing that was told to me was 99.99999% of all music is 145 was his example, but it was a really profound. way to-
145 is well. I mean, that's like country, you know.
Yeah. It's
But
amazing
then
how
also
they can do
like
so many stories.
really classic rock, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 145
And everything.
or punk rock.
Everything,
Yeah,
son.
you throw a 4 in there though, and you got something. That's when people perk up. Oh,
They
these
start
guys know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, a 6 chord? That's where the true taste. If country song has a 6 chord, I'm kind of out though. I need to go back older to where there's just 1 4s
That
and 5s.
3 chord
and the 2 chord is a major. That 5 of 5.
A natural 3 chord, not like a 5 of 6 or any. I mean, a natural 3 chord. You almost never come across that.
Because it's bad chord.
Yeah, there's no
It's not a
reason
good
for
sound.
It's like
no reason
it's a
for
little bit of a 5 chord and a little bit of a 1 chord, and
It's nothing.
it doesn't have any pull
It's
either
just
way.
nothing. You got nothing.
So where have you lived? Let's do this. I want to go back and forth because I was just thinking of my shitty house in Tacoma, and then my shitty apartment in Tacoma.
I've lived a lot of places.
So where were we just talking about before we started?
Graham.
Oh, Graham.
Because
okay, you've lived in a couple places.
I live in Graham, and you've lived in Graham, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I lived in Graham for about a year.
Now you're in Bonnie Lake, and then what about Tacoma?
Yep, I lived in Tacoma.
How many times? How many different places in Tacoma?
One.
Oh, just one?
Mm-hmm.
Where
I lived
at?
in a basement apartment up in North Tacoma.
Oh, yeah, North Tacoma. That's
It was
where I was.
nice. There was deer out there. It was cool.
Tight. Was it near the 24/7 bowling alley?
Yeah, actually,
What was the name of that
far from there.
Tower Lanes?
Yeah, Tower Lanes.
Tower Lanes.
I spent a lot of time there
They, yeah.
back in the day.
I was kind of off of 6th Avenue, kind of down closer to Old Town, like in the middle right there.
Tight.
You go down and cross over 21st, and you got the ocean, Puget Sound. It was pretty nice.
What about Seattle?
Yes, I
You lived in Seattle?
I've lived all over.
I haven't actually technically ever lived in Seattle, but my buddy, like best friend, lives up there. So I'm like, again,
What part?
peripherally. He lives Cap Hill, right in the middle,
Okay, yeah.
right on it.
Right on the hill.
It's a good time. I mean, it's wild. The last
Is it-
few years have been wild.
Is it RJ that lives in Ballard?
He must be
that
close
Ballard?
by. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know that.
Ballard has always been such a strange place to me.
What is Ballard's deal?
It's like just not there. Well, I mean, when I was a kid, they always joked about everybody driving around with the left turn signals on, and then I got there, and they did.
What a weird stereotype to be
Totally
true.
did. It was
Everybody's
the weirdest thing.
going left and leaving it.
Yeah, it's like a little town. It's just like
I'm never gonna forget that. I'm gonna be in Ballard
totally
playing
removed
gigs.
from everything else. Yeah, no, I like Ballard.
So what about the best gig town? Best town you've had the best gigs, or is it all?
It depends on when you're talking about. Recently, Tacoma is on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get down to Tacoma then.
It's the music scene down there is a lot like it was in Seattle back in the
Cool.
Yeah,
early
there's lots of
2000s.
Yeah, I've been out of Tacoma for I don't know, 5-6 years since I've been here.
Tacoma's pretty cool. There's a lot of musicians out there. There's a lot of different places to play. There's a lot of different things going on, different kinds of music. It's cool.
I miss some of the venues in Tacoma, like Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, I used to go.
That was where I played my one of my first shows.
What a great
My
place.
first show was Bob's Java Jive. You guys got to know Bob's
I
Java
gotta
Jive.
go to that place. Like
I didn't-
I keep hearing about that place.
I didn't
haven't been down
fucking
there
stretch
yet.
my strings, and as soon as I went to play an A chord, it's just everything was out of tune. Very first gig, wonderful
Do they still
time.
do they still have the Red Room in Tacoma?
Rad
I
Room.
haven't seen that.
I don't know what that one is.
I went to one gig with my dad actually to the Red Room.
Tight.
And
Your dad was a good gig goer. With
It
you.
was. Oh, I know.
He
I've
went to
been-
all the hardcore shit,
I went
and he
to all
says
of
it too.
them,
He's
yeah.
like, I went to all your blah blah shit, blah blah. It's like, yeah, we love death metal for a time.
Saw 3 Inches of Blood at Hell's Kitchen.
Yes,
way
that's-
back in the day.
Oh yeah,
When what was it? Not Advance and Vanquish. What's the one that I really like?
Deadly Sinners.
So that's Advance and Vanquish. But what's
The second one, Goat Riders Horde.
that had Goat Riders Horde
That's
on it?
just a
but
song.
Trial of
Do you
the-
guys remember this band?
Fire Up the Blades?
Fuck, it was such a neat.
Fire Up the Blades.
They were. I feel like they were so famous for like a year or two.
Oh, they were so good.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to him?
Well, the main, like
Band
the
stuff.
screamer guy, like blew his voice out. Like,
Yeah, there was like two singers.
blew
One
it
guy
out.
was and the other was yeah, yeah, and it did sound
It
kind of
was
not.
so. It's not even like death. It was like literally throwing your throat.
Yeah, it didn't
into a
have like
blender.
the or the.
It
It was more like guttural pain.
the prime example of what does Cameron say? Gargling
nails, yeah.
Gargling nails.
Like Chris Cornell in his Audio Slave days.
Like gnarly screaming. Anyway, so they played at Hell's Kitchen,
And it was
That's why
awesome.
I love that venue. There's just a pillar in the middle of the.
Yes, right in the middle of
It's like
everything.
right
Just, like,
there,
right there.
right where the mosh pit is supposed to be.
You
just
don't
got
know
this
about
pole.
Tacoma local music unless you've smacked your head on the side of that pole
my
in the middle of a 3 inches of blood mosh pit when you're 14,
And
you get
and
kicked in the head
bathroom.
by someone crowd surfing. What?
The bathroom, the stall
Dude,
with no door.
Right.
Crazy that I'm triggered this memory, but like every time I go to like a sketchy bathroom, I think of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah,
the
because
black
that was
everywhere.
the sketchiest. But not only that, but there was also Club Impact in Tacoma.
The Viaduct?
That was such a great venue.
Is
I
one
don't
I've
know-
heard of.
I don't know that I've ever been to the Viaduct.
Me neither. Or maybe maybe.
I ever went to it, but
Club Impact. I haven't heard of that one.
I don't know
So-
that one either. Apparently, I'm not that cool in Tacoma.
so what's
That
your
was a while ago.
Club Impact's not around anymore, but that was a really cool venue. I think that's where I saw
Was it all death metal-y stuff?
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where your band played, Sanctity and Silence?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw
That
you
makes
guys
sense.
at one time.
That makes sense. I forget the name. We played a lot, but I wasn't in charge. I was just like side guy, so I'd show up and he would drive, and so I don't remember exactly where. One of them was a church.
All right.
Played screamy music in a church. All right, what do you got?
So we got to move on to the world's shortest rig rundown.
Yes.
What kind of acoustic guitar do you play?
So my main guitar is made by a company called Morgan.
Tight.
He's a small builder up in Vancouver. He builds about 50 guitars a year.
Cool.
I stumbled upon it on the internet about a year ago. And I mean, it's a solid spruce top, rosewood
Perfect.
fretboard, rosewood back and sides, all back and
Perfect.
sides. And I was like, man, you can't go wrong with this. So
Yeah.
I went and played it, and oh yeah, that's it. And then I got a Santa Cruz, a mahogany Santa Cruz that I play as my backup.
Like a mahogany top?
It's a spruce top, mahogany back and sides.
Oh, okay, mahogany back.
But when you show up with a Santa Cruz and everybody goes, oh hey, and I say, yeah, it's my backup guitar.
Yeah.
You get looks. Better practice.
Yeah.
Like, wow, Mr. Bougie over
You bring two
here.
guitars to the gig?
No, normally just one.
Plain standard?
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah.
Respect.
There's a couple of songs that I should go to drop D, but I still refuse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I might drop it down sometimes, depending on the fanciness of the gig or the silence of the in between. Depending on.
There's songs that definitely would be easier.
Yeah.
But I'm stubborn. Like when
I feel it, dude.
When I
I
was
feel
playing in
that.
the rock band, I never wanted to tune down.
Yeah.
Really?
We don't change keys on our cover songs.
See, I'm
nothing,
like-
dude. We're
And
stick-faced.
everything we played back in the day was in drop D, and it just stretch a little farther. I'll be fine. I don't have to do it.
Oh. So wait, is it kind of like a you've been drop tuned for so long that
No,
you're just
I
sick
never
of
did it.
You never did it.
I
Oh,
never
okay.
did it.
Oh. See, I think I'm the opposite of that. I'm
You've
almost
done it
never
before.
not
I
drop.
want to go back, kind of.
I'm in drop C most of the
We
time.
did an album in drop C, and I
It's
like it.
all drop C,
I wanna
except
go
for
back.
what? Take the Blame, which was E standard, I think.
I'm just now getting comfortable putting a capo on that guitar.
Fair enough.
I've always been, I can do without it.
Capos are
So
do cool
very,
stuff.
what do you call that?
Traditionalist?
Apparently.
That was weird. I read your lips
was
because
so
I had
weird.
three on the tip of my brain, but I was like, he's going with traditionalist.
Traditionalist.
My brain's firing today. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And again, it would
Elitist is another one.
it would be way easier on me if I would just do it, but
Of course.
But no.
Now, do you have?
I've been there.
I didn't pay attention in the videos. Do you have a pickup in the guitar, or do you mic it?
So both guitars have a pickup by K&K. They're vintage, virtual vintage. It's basically three microphones that stick on the bottom of the bridge. So there's no battery, there's no EQ. It's the closest thing to
like
the
real
guitar.
miking.
Yeah, it's the closest that I could find to do a direct in.
And you
sound
play
like
that
a guitar.
at all your gigs,
Yeah.
that guitar. We got to go hear that shit.
Yeah.
It sounds
That's
awesome.
pretty
It's not
cool.
going to sound good on videos. I want to hear that live.
I love that thing.
What's your guys' next gig? Where are you playing?
Seven Seas Brewery in Gig Harbor
Oh,
on the
that's-
21st.
Oh, that's right.
Future.
That's right. That's right.
Hell yeah.
Come across the bridge. It's fun.
You know what's funny is
21st.
a lot of these things I don't even try to remember because I just edit them later. So I'm like,
You're like, oh, I already got it.
I'm just be in the moment, dude. And
I
yeah.
already got it.
Got
21st.
But as long as I got your names, I always forget. If there's three people, I forget. It all goes downhill.
Well,
But I
this
can
is
handle-
easy. It's Meghanne and Project.
Yeah, it's right in the name.
Paul Project Buck.
It's on the
And
sweatshirt.
Megan, yeah, there's
My name's on the sweatshirt.
Project.
Nice. So, do you guys sell merch?
Yes.
Tight. How's that go? I've never done the merch game.
We just have hoodies and t-shirts right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it goes what people buy them?
Yeah, they sure do.
That's so tight.
They like them.
Hey, you
Is it
guys
like
have
an
some-
online
really
thing,
cool
or
when
you
you go-
come to the gig, and that's you got to come to the gig?
You gotta
Okay.
come to the gig and get a hoodie. But it's
I
cool
so
when people
respect
show up
that.
at the
Me
gigs
too.
and they've got like all the hoodies are on. That's always cool. I
Dude.
love that.
That's so cool.
That's
So you have
legit.
a pretty like kind of your regulars that come out to a lot of your gigs, or
It depends. It really depends. Like a lot of like our people that are like our friends, kind of like in our age group, don't really go out anymore.
yeah.
So like they'll come out. They'll come out.
None of my friends do. I burnt them all
Yeah,
out in
yeah.
the early 2000s, making them go to rock shows and drink too much.
Yeah.
And now
No,
they
I
just don't even pretend.
Yeah, but I harass the hell out of my friends, so they better show up.
Nice.
Damn it! I did this because you told me to.
If I have
so.
enough gigs, my family's about to show up, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you get enough
Like, you
gigs
guys
going.
can-
My mom might actually come to one.
Yeah.
Ooh, my mom's come to a couple.
Your mom's way better than my mom.
I think I burned out. I think I burned my parents out. I play the same damn songs. They know all the songs that I
I've
play.
seen it. I've seen it. I'm
No.
done.
Yeah.
gotta shake it up a little
See,
bit.
this acoustic guitar and female singer, your ears aren't bleeding by the end of the show.
Right. It's a nice, listenable sound.
It's a lot easier to sell. And it's a lot easier on me because I'm old now.
So tell us about your rock and roll days, and it sounds like.
I was in a band we started out in high school with the Druids.
Tight name.
Which was the best high school rock band in the history of the world.
Tight, dude. The Druids, and that's a believable name. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We named it after
logo? What kind of cool logo did you
I don't even think we got that.
Didn't make it that far.
I don't think so.
Oh,
but it would have been. I mean, we named the band after watching Spinal Tap too many times, so it would have been the Small Stonehenge.
Tight.
Tony, if you're watching this, Phil, do you guys want to do a reunion show? Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll book it. I have no idea.
That's very Spinal Tap of you.
I have no idea what we played, but we'll figure it out, right?
But we'll have a name and a logo.
And we had a Pink Floyd song, I think, so we can just do that.
Tight, dude.
There you go.
And then I was in a band in the early 2000s that played Seattle all the time. We were in a very strange time in Seattle.
Yeah, what was going on there?
All the grunge bands had just left, and we did everything that we were supposed to do 4 years before, where we sold out the shows and we played everywhere,
right.
and the record executives would come and they give you your contract.
Yeah.
But we had an A&R rep show up once, and we never saw him again. Damn. So there's a group of 5 or 6 bands like Window Pane and The Bend, and
I've heard of Window Pane. They did Pain in the Grass a bunch.
Yeah, Glenn Campbell's still around, and he still talks about it too. They put out like 5 albums now that they've paid for out of pocket,
Tight.
or maybe more.
Yeah,
so they're still pretty big, but no record labels anywhere. It was right when Napster was starting.
Oh yeah, it was a confusing time.
Everything was going digital. So we had where we recorded our EP was in my buddy's apartment, and he said he had better equipment in his apartment than they had in the studio 4 years before on a $7 million record that they did. Damn. So it was really weird. It was there's no money.
Right.
The only people in Seattle making any money was the Aphrodisiacs playing their disco cover stuff.
Really?
But it was fun.
I bet.
At least what I can remember was a lot of fun.
Did you do any time like playing cover bands and different stuff like that?
Why?
Kind of.
That?
I just laugh because it's funny because there's oh man.
So I played in high school. We did covers.
Nice.
I think I was trying to think today. I think we had some original songs back then.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't have been very good.
Right, but you had the Pink Floyd to come in clutch.
I think we had some.
Yeah.
And then years later, I volunteered at the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum in Kent. Oh. And they have a house band that plays a lot of their events, and I was talking to the guy about guitar, and he said, you could tell that I knew what I was talking about. And one day he called me and goes, "Hey, I need a guitar player tonight." Okay, so I grabbed my stuff, and I hadn't played in years.
And just shake that rust off.
And, I was standing up there. I think that night we played a B.B. King song that I had played at a blues jam once. And that might have been the only song that I'd ever played before. And made it through the night. Cause,
oh, my God. Story of my life.
It's just chords, So he's like, all right, you're in the band. So I've been playing with them ever since. And that's a lot of fun.
So I was in a cover band where I played bass, and I didn't know any of the songs. But, you could kind of get away with it if the crowd's drunk enough. And my uncle played guitar, and he was a machine. He sang all the lyrics to all the covers. He was a cover machine, and he do all the solos to Van Halen songs, so he's a monster player as well. And he's singing these songs I've never heard. I'm learning on bass, and we did that for 2-3 years. So now my bass player is Steven, and I'm fucking tearing him through the road. I'm dragging him through the mud, dude. That's what I'm doing. Oh my
gosh. It's that gig that we played.
He made what? You made like $400 one night playing 2 songs you knew?
Yeah. I mean, literally.
3 hours? Well,
you guys know, what is it, that the Lake Taps little private clubhouse thing?
Oh, yeah. On the island over there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we played a private party there. I've had nothing but good gigs there.
I did not know a single song that we played that night. I'm looking at Taylor's hand the whole time, okay, he's playing a D right now.
They're pretty standard
I guess
songs.
I'll just stay on a D here.
Yeah.
I've seen that quite a bit.
But honestly,
I've been there. You just kind of make it up. You slide into the chord. Eventually, you'll hit the right note.
Because one time he literally said, it's oh well, yeah, it's a 1-4-5, but there's a whole thing in the middle. Just I don't know, do your best.
Don't forget about the thing in the middle.
Yeah, I'm what? What is that?
Is that Tequila Sunrise? Maybe. I remember that one being funny because I was like, this one's just G, A minor, and D. I don't think there's. And then as soon as we start, I remember, fuck.
That's easy. That's when you roll the volume knob off and you just look cool.
Genius move as a bass guy, because in the bridge it's volume's lower anyway.
That's when your guitar accidentally gets unplugged.
I don't know what happened.
I can't grab it.
Oh, man.
Oh, the bridge is over. I got it.
You just walk over and get a drink.
And then at the end of COVID, I started playing with the Iron Stallions band.
That's a tight name. What do they do?
Why are you in bands with the best names? Iron Stallion, Druids.
You come up with the names?
No. Well, I probably came up with the Druids, but
Tight.
the Iron Stallions had existed before I came. Right. But it was my buddy did a jam at the Red Dog out in Maple Valley. So I showed up. I was like, man, I haven't been on a stage in 2 years. I need to plug this guitar in.
Yeah.
So he threw me up on stage with these guys, and then the leader of that band said, hey, man, I got gigs lined up as soon as the world opens up. Like, okay, cool, let's do it.
That sounds good when someone says that.
I played with them, and it was too loud and fast. And
hell
That
yeah.
was fun, though.
we got her on stage a few
Steven
times
loves
to do some stuff. But that's really the only cover experience that I have. So that's why I say I'm not good enough to play songs note for note. Cause
For real. Right.
you know, when we do a blues set with the Superchargers, it's easy because it's blues.
The Superchargers.
I'll do that all day long.
That's 3 for 3.
That's another cool
Best
name.
names.
3 for 3. You got the Druids, the Iron Stallions, and the Superchargers.
Mm-hmm.
So do you
Give me a break,
Right.
man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you not write songs? You should write songs because you got a good.
No, he should just come up with band names all day and sell them.
If you make money doing that, I'll do it.
See if off the top of your head you could come up with a band name for me and Steven's country punk band.
Ooh, country punk. What do you got?
Let's see. Let's do like a, it's dung 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 dung.
Man, that sounds like the Killer Banjos to me.
The Killer Banjos?
He is good at it. That was so
That
crazy.
was pretty
We
good.
put him on the spot.
The Killer Banjos.
Banjos.
I like that. I like
Killer
that.
banjos.
Wow. Nice job. Very
Loved
nice
it.
job.
So have you played in
Patent
touring cover bands and all that? You laughed when I said cover band. So.
I know. I want to dig into that.
Okay, well, the cover band thing, it's like I just look at it as like a rite of passage, man. You have to do it.
Paying your dues.
And you have to, yeah. So like, it's always an experience because
When do
every
you
time you get
stop?
up on that stage, you're just like, okay, do I actually know the words to this song tonight?
Right.
Well,
So many songs.
let's just go for it.
Nice.
And cover gigs are always 3 hours. Yeah, 4 hours. Dude, I gave up the 4-hour gigs.
Man, I can't do that.
3 hours is my tops.
Yeah.
At least solo.
Yeah, 3 hours is top.
Solo is hard work. Just
I don't know.
just singing and playing guitar for like by yourself. It's no friends.
For 4 hours.
No friendship, dude.
I would like to have
I would
friends.
get bored.
That's what I'm saying. I like to have friends.
I like friends, I do, but it works. It works.
You get paid more for the
Yes.
lack of friendship during the gig. But yeah, if we're playing like we got everybody there and we're having fun.
It's a way better vibe.
Or if we're doing bad, we're in it together. It's just a win-win. So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If it's an off night, man, I'm just gonna take everybody.
So
down
you've
with
paid
me.
your dues and done your cover stuff, and you're focused now on writing.
Yeah.
So-
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask about writing because
Oh.
we did a lot of music theory talk. Let's dive into the other side, and you're
Right,
going to have to
okay.
lead us with that conversation because we're a bunch of dum-dums who
Yeah, I
listen
don't
to
know nothing about
bum,
lyrics.
bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I write a lot actually. I write all the time. I was like,
Dope.
my parents are writers, so
No way.
like learning how to write, it kind of like comes.
What are they writers? What do they do?
My mom does poetry. My dad does poetry. My stepdad was a journalist for one of the newspapers in the
Oh, wow.
South End for a long
Wow.
time, and my mom was a journalist back in the day when she was younger too. So like there's just a lot of writing, and like
Yeah.
she's published. And I got sorry, I got like a
Bless
tickle
you.
in my throat.
Can you edit that in post, please?
Oh yeah, I'll put it in 3 times.
Perfect.
All right.
We're just going to add
Echo.
reverb and
There you go.
It's a bit dry.
I'm gonna pitch shift it so it's like
Perfect. No,
That's going to be on this little thing.
yeah.
Perfect.
there you go.
The newest Meghanne Storey Project song.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, dude. Ozzy did that.
Yes, yeah.
That is insane though that you had that much, like you were getting writing from all fronts.
Oh, I was totally surrounded by it. Like I
Yeah.
just didn't have a choice. When I was little, I rewrote, and I started out like rewriting kids' books, like The Three Little Pigs, or I rewrote a couple other stories, and then like I started writing poems with my mom, and then I started writing songs when I was about 13.
Damn, how many
Really?
songs do you think you've written total? Even if they're like no bridges, even if there's no third verse, like just
Oh, she's got journals
I have-
on
yeah,
top
I
of
have-
journals.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking
Hundreds of
handwritten
songs.
or digital or both?
Yeah, I mean, in my
All of them
Evernote,
ever.
I've got like 5,000, 6,000 in here. I have boxes and boxes and boxes full of notebooks.
That's tight.
Are
It's
you
crazy.
shitting me?
I'll come up with the stupid chord line.
You have 5,000 songs.
That's a lot of songs that
Yes.
she's got it ready.
I'll come up with the stupid chord line,
Yeah.
record it,
Yeah.
send it to her, and she goes, "Yeah, I got that." And then the next day she's singing it. It's insane.
So what's the process of writing like if we're going to dive in? Because I don't write songs generally, but when I do, it's very not thematic. It's very...
Horrible
Yeah.
would be my word.
That wasn't very nice.
That's what pedals are for.
roasted. That was good. That's pretty good. I like how it's one way. Usually I'm ripping you and you're just sitting there taking it, but I like this reverse.
Yeah.
Feels good. I feel better about the mean things I say about it.
Yeah.
So you've written a bunch of songs.
5,000 songs.
And
5,000 songs.
Okay, so let me back up a little bit. Okay, so part of this, like, I grew up on the streets in downtown Seattle, so like I really didn't have anything else to do with my time.
yeah.
So like I just sat and wrote songs all the time. So
What do you mean by you grew up in the streets?
I lived in a doorway.
Really?
Yes.
Silence strikes.
I was trying to think of
That's just
something funny but not inappropriate.
Wow.
And I just
No, I mean, I'm
you
just.
don't have anything nice to say.
I am like
Slept
just
in a
amazed.
park. I stayed in group homes, shelters.
I was going to say you're like Phoebe from Friends.
Yeah, I love Phoebe. I was
dude.
just watching Friends the other night.
She's the best character. She's got the most
best.
character. So there you go.
Yeah, the triplets. It was the
Yeah.
triplets that got me.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, did you live most of like your childhood homeless or?
From the time I was about 13 up.
And that's when the writing...
I was emancipated when I was 16.
Oh, damn.
I used to work at this little Denny's by the freeway. That was pretty cool. Like it was, I mean, it is what it is.
Sure.
Like,
well,
I-
you've been out there learning life then.
Yeah,
That's why you
yeah.
write and you
Yeah,
have
but
stuff
the
to
cool
write
thing is
about.
that the Denny's that I hung out at, like there was a lot of music in Seattle at the time that I was growing up, right? Because it was like that grunge era was like first starting to happen,
Tight.
and all those dudes practiced at the Marine store next to this Denny's that I worked at.
No way.
Yes, so it was like I had like a lot of influences, and there was a lot of music around. Like I was able to kind of pick up different pieces. And,
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah, it was really cool.
From a Denny's?
Yeah.
What kind of bands would be playing around there?
Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Candlebox.
Those are the ones.
I know there's a bunch more. Pearl
Tight,
Jam.
that's already-
Mudhoney. Who else?
All of
Who am I?
them.
Screaming Trees. Who am I? Yeah, all of them. Yeah, I mean, it was. They were all over the place.
that Mercer Street Denny's
and back
was the
then,
place
the Pain
to
of the
go.
Grass
Fuck
concerts,
yeah.
those were free. I'm
What's that
just
one?
saying. Those Pain of the Grass concerts, those were free. I miss those days.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
know
that is not the case anymore.
No.
You still go?
Yeah, sometimes I went.
I mean, I went
guys went?
this year, but that's
she hasn't paid for a ticket, but she still goes.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you grandfathered into that rule? What is
No,
that?
she's all right. She makes me pay for them.
Nice.
very nice.
It works.
It's a clever move.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only went this year because I got the hookup at work.
Who'd you go to see?
It was the night that Bush, Breaking Benjamin, and Alice in Chains played.
We were there. We were there.
It's incredible.
Did you
Did
catch
you
catch the walking papers on the second stage before?
No,
Those guys were
no.
so
We
badass.
showed up.
Familiar.
We showed up right before Bush went on stage, so we didn't see most of it because we worked until 5 that day, and so then we
who'd you
headed
go
up
with?
to amphitheater. Another guy at work, and then a bunch of people from work.
Oh, gotcha. That's
ended
cool.
up, but it was like me, Carolyn, and then my buddy at work and his wife were that was our group.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we got there, the owner of the dealership, he has like I don't know if it's like a season pass, but he sends emails out all the time like, "Hey, I got tickets."
Right. So you
Who
just
wants 'em?
Eventually go and
Me.
see.
Yeah.
I would like tickets.
Right?
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
some. Pass them
No,
around, dude.
it's fantastic. That was the first time I ever took advantage. But he has like one of like the box seats, you know.
Nice.
Oh, it's super cool. But yeah,
The
like I
sound
said,
sy-
that's the only reason that I went.
The sound system at the White River Amphitheater is junk. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah, you can.
awful.
You can say
Yeah.
that.
There's
You
no
should.
reason
You
the
should
sound
say
should
it.
sound that bad. It is awful. Fix it.
PSA with Buck Project.
I've always
good
liked to be like I've always liked to be engulfed. Like if you go to either like El Corazon or like the Showbox.
Yeah.
I very much prefer that because I think there's a large part of the intensity that's lost when most of your sound waves just fly away outside.
Shoot out into space.
Yeah. So I like the White River. I don't have like my main thing about the White River is that it takes 4 fucking hours to get out of the parking lot at the end.
My God. If you guys have ever been to a show at White River, it's like, if you're in the area, you have been to a show at White River. Those are the best ones sometimes.
I live drinking like an hour before the show's over because once you're in your car, man, it's 4 hours.
Right.
I live right down the street from there.
So you know all about it.
It takes me 5 minutes to get there and 4 hours to get home. Literally.
It's
That's
horrible.
a horrible ratio.
You tailgate after the show, waiting for the parking lot to empty out.
That's true. If it was younger days and we were drinking and having a good time.
I feel like the Showware Center, I don't know why more bands don't play there. Like if you're a bigger band.
I still haven't seen a show there, but it seems like that would be a great place.
The setup is amazing. For one, it's all free parking and they have a huge parking garage. And there's like 5 ways to get out, so it doesn't take forever to get out of there. But then it's an arena. It's an arena, so your sound is incredible. You're engulfed in the sound.
What'd you see there?
I've seen a couple. I saw Godsmack there.
Nice.
I saw,
and you know what they're supposed to sound like in all. You've seen them so much.
Right.
He knows how to judge the sound.
I saw Priest there. Priest was incredible.
I've also saw Priest I saw Priest at the Kent.
That's the Showware Center.
That's Showware?
Yeah, that's Showware
that's why
Center.
I said it, I guess, to begin with. I was right.
Priest. I think...
the sound was good.
Actually, I want to say I've seen Godsmack there twice. One time was with Shinedown, and then one time was with just, I think, like random local bands or something. I can't remember. But
nothing noteworthy.
Yeah, there was... because Godsmack was a headliner, so I think everybody before them was somewhat...
Not as much as you wanted. Not as Godsmacky as
No, not
we
at
grew
all.
up listening to Godsmack when we were like, what? You must have been 5 years old playing Godsmack on the guitar, or what?
Yeah.
You must have thought was Godsmack. It must have been something else.
Well, listening to him, yeah.
Yeah. Remember when we were like, play something for us,
kids,
and you wouldn't?
I know, right?
Yeah, because I suck.
You were scared to play it. You're like, I don't want to play it.
Fast forward to today, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Although I will play.
You'll play it. You've played it.
You'll play it now.
What's the
I'll
best,
play it now.
What's the best concert you guys have ever been to? Like,
I couldn't
kind of
play a
concert?
Godsmack song to save
I
my
almost
life.
died at a Pearl Jam concert.
Well, you'd
That
have
was
to drop
pretty cool.
tune to play Godsmack.
It's true.
yeah, you'd have to drop. What? Let's
Why
go
did
into
Eddie
that.
Vedder like almost
I got
drop
body
on
surfed,
top of
and
you?
then I got thrown, and then I got trampled, and then I got dragged out of this thing, and then I found my sister because the same guy that dragged me out was dragging her out. And
Whoa, how was his voice though?
Eddie,
While you were getting your ass beat, did you catch how his voice sounded?
Not really, not until I finally got out of that and like in the back where I
Holy
started
shit.
my peaceful mosh pit where we could bang into each
Okay,
other
so you
and
didn't
then
get
apologize.
totally-
We were good.
Oh, so wait, so you
No, I
got
got
into
So
it.
trampled.
this
Like, I
must have
got-
been like in the heat of Pearl Jam,
This
like
was like 96.
90s.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in 96 at the Memorial Stadium.
Nice.
Yeah, they, like, I was up at the front. They played with the Wallflowers, and I watched the Wallflowers, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm in a good spot right here. I'm just going to stand here and wait for Pearl Jam to come out. But I'm only 5 feet tall. And so, like, in the summertime, when you're 5 feet tall and, like, Pearl Jam comes on the stage, there's all these dudes that have no shirts on with their arms up. And I'm sorry, but the armpit section sucks.
Oh.
It was really bad. And so I was trying to get out of there, and I couldn't get out. And this guy's like, oh, hey, I got you. And he picks me up, and they started body surfing me through the crowd, right?
No.
Throw me up over the security thing. The guy in the security guy looks at me, and I'm like, can you help me? And he's like, nope, and threw me back into the crowd.
What?
Right?
That's insane.
But,
Whoa.
They're supposed to put you down.
Yeah,
They didn't
whoa, what?
catch
a
me.
bunch.
They didn't catch me. Like, I just watched my last little bit of blue sky disappear. People were stepping on me. It was so bad.
It's so crazy that
Yeah.
people can't react fast enough to that. Ants would react fast to that.
You know what's funny? I was at that show.
Yeah.
And I remember her getting
It was awful.
getting tossed back in, and I was fighting my way towards her.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember how you got out, but you disappeared.
Some
and I
guy
couldn't find
grabbed
you.
me. He dragged me by my foot out of the mosh pit and then like picked me up and was like, "You got to hang on to me." And like I was like, "Okay." So I held onto his shoulders and he had somebody underneath him and he like dragged us both out and when I got out, I was like, "Oh, Casey, where you been?"
For the love of God.
I was looking for you.
At least you got saved, but that's one hell of a way to save somebody.
Yeah, man.
I feel like
25 years later, she's telling a story, and I'm thinking, hey,
I went through that show.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay.
I feel like over the years, the mosh pit has definitely evolved to be a more compassionate
You think so?
thing.
I don't know, man.
I've seen some TikToks.
There used to be rules.
Because there was just like, it was brutal. It was awful.
But
Well,
there
'cause
was rules.
Yeah.
What rules?
If you fell down, you got picked up.
I always experience that. Like, and,
Okay,
and
and that was like.
I mean,
in the
I wasn't
90s?
a girl getting passed around, so obviously things are
dude,
different.
I
but-
would say
I was
there's
even
no
I was
rules.
even at one where a guy grabbed my girlfriend's butt, and I was triggered, and it was a circle time, and it was, what band was it? Oh, I feel like Lamb of God. I don't think it was, but let's pretend it was, like, you know, for the heaviness factor. And I was raging mad though, so I was looking for this guy, and then some other guy saw that I was like fighting, and he was big, and so he grabbed me and picked me up and he goes, "We're all family here." And I was like, "Okay, well, that guy," and he's like, "Just let it go." I was like, "Who are you?" He's a tall Yoda.
Damn.
He's probably right though. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah,
You
I was
know-
going to get myself in trouble.
The only time I've ever been knocked down in a mosh pit was at a Volbeat concert.
Nice.
I just bounced the wrong way and I ran into somebody that was very solid and just knocked me
Damn, must have
right
been a
down
real
onto the
big
ground.
person.
He was a big boy.
Yeah.
But that was just, that's my whole point is I got knocked down and in a nanosecond, like 3 people throw me right back up.
Yeah, dude, that sucks that you didn't experience that.
Yeah, I can't
No.
believe that you would have gotten that. Yeah, that's crazy
I've
to
always
me.
I've always seen good.
It was crazy. No, it was really bad. It was really bad. I got out of there and like my ID, like they took my shoes off my feet. I had like, they took my clothes off of me. Like I had a pair of overalls on, you know, but they took everything, my stuff out of my pockets. Like, but my sunglasses stayed on my head.
Holy the shit, that's
I know,
insane.
like all the random things.
I thought you were going to say my beer. I still had my beer.
I had a footprint in the middle of my forehead.
Oh,
My
been there.
sunglasses were okay.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It was crazy.
Man.
It was super crazy.
Raise your hand if you've been kicked in a mosh pit. Lame.
Not really.
Raise your hand if you've been hit with the front side of a spiky guitar where the strings
Oh, yeah.
are.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That's how.
Okay, what about
No.
raise your hand
I
if,
touched a guitar one time.
if the power
cool.
has gone out during a gig for you in any fashion?
I saw that post.
That was tight, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, are we
I have a-
playing? Are we playing the game?
Yeah, like
or-
while you're playing and then you lose power in any fashion. I've had it happen a lot, actually. And it's
We
usually
lost
bad.
power before the gig, but we didn't end up playing that. 'cause there was no
I've blown
power.
amps out halfway through.
Ooh, even better. Smoke?
Oh yeah.
I've only smoked one amp.
That was theatrical.
What kind of amp was it?
I think that one was my jazz chorus.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was.
It was time to go, or you just blew
Apparently.
it too hard?
Apparently, it was time.
I had a line
That's
6.
Roland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice call.
Roland is not. I mean, I wouldn't imagine that's something that is built for tour grade type stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen some really good things out of Roland.
Yeah, they're
They
They make
relevant.
great
They're
stuff. I
around.
just feel like it's more of a studio
Home
product.
stuff.
Yeah, I would agree
Probably.
with that. I
Well,
would definitely agree with that.
out of the simple sample size that we have,
I'm right.
One,
I'm right.
you are right.
I'm right.
Mine was a line 6, line 6 head
Oh man,
on a half stack.
my
on a 412.
line 6 didn't even make it through practicing
Really?
for the gig.
Yeah, mine blew up live.
That's how I got. That's how. Do you remember my my crate half stack?
Yeah, I remember your shitty ass, nasty
So-
can of bees ass sounding ass. He would play it so loud too. Coming home from the bus or some shit.
I got that crate because originally my grandma bought me a line 6 Spider 3 half stack.
Yeah, that's what it was that blew up, I think.
And before we had it, me and RJ were playing at the fair.
Yeah.
And literally, like, she got me that amp a day before, and I'm playing it, and it immediately started just bugging out.
So they just didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, so I returned
Not line
it and got a
6.
crate. Yeah,
They're better
It was
now,
horrible.
right? Or they're not?
No.
Didn't they get better for like
Well, they don't do amps
I don't know.
anymore. I
I'm
don't
a-
think they only do like your
2012?
floor modelers.
That kind of shit got better. Yeah, their floor modelers
The
got
line
better.
6 Helix is incredible.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah, the Helix is incredible.
I'm a
But
total
I've-
tube snob now, so
Oh, me too.
Your solid state stuff, you can keep it.
Yeah.
I need my tubies.
Hell yeah. My uncle's got a JCM 800, and I played it once.
Ooh.
Be jealous.
You see, that's
It was
Nice.
That's
so
too loud though.
so loud. You couldn't play it quiet. It was
Yeah.
So I played it for once.
Didn't I just hear you say too loud?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the too loud kick. He said it a few times, and I respect it because Steven's my loud guy, and I've been like acoustic lately. Like, let's play a soft gig, play quiet. I've had to wrangle you down to play quiet.
Yeah.
Man,
So you guys should go hang out.
Listenable. Yeah, we should make some listenable music together.
I'm a heavy equipment operating guitar player that shoots guns for fun. My
Nice.
ears are shot.
Yeah, you have no ears left.
You got to turn it up.
Yeah.
It's like, am I even on right now? It's like, yes, you are.
When you get home from the gig and you can't sleep because the ringing's too loud,
Oh,
Yeah.
too
so many
old for that.
times.
See, I will say I like loud, but I do wear earplugs.
See,
Yeah.
I do now.
That's true. He is conscientious of that.
I do now, but back when in the rock and roll days, sometimes I'd put them in at rehearsals, but you can't do
Yep.
it on stage. Now I'm like, earplugs.
I'm a huge proponent of earplugs. I feel like the sound, like just the it's way more balanced too. I feel like you hear music the right way even when it's cranked when you have earplugs in.
I agree with that.
I went to a show a few weeks back at El Corazon. Is that what the off-ramp's called now? Mm-hmm. It was the first band was playing. It was like 8:30, and I was standing there with my earplugs in holding a Diet Pepsi. And I
Nice.
looked around and I was like, oh, man.
By yourself, no less.
Of all the shit I've done in this room, I never thought I was going to be this guy.
Yeah,
Here
I'm
I
the
am
guy.
thinking I'm not going to be able to go to work in the morning.
You're drinking straight chase, wearing earplugs.
It's 8:30 at night, and I'm thinking they don't go on until 10.
You're like, boy, they're not. Yeah.
Have you turned into the what if there's a fire? How would I even get out of here right now?
Oh, you know what?
She's thinking. She's thinking.
That's
That was my dad's famous line. Anytime we went to like Showbox or El Corazon, he'd
What
be
if
like,
there's a fire?
or Studio 7, he's like, man, if there's a fire right now, we would never get out of here.
We played a show at the Central with window pane.
Oh yeah.
And there was like 900 people in that bar. It was to the point where the fire marshal was standing at the front door, and it was
Yep.
one person out, one person in. And he said, if 2 people go in, I'm red tagging you and closing you down. And I remember standing on that stage talking to my drummer, going, okay, man, if anything happens, we're going out this back window and trying to survive that fall.
Yeah,
Because
it's
there's no way we're getting to that front
It's been
door.
good to plan ahead.
Yeah,
That
If
was
there's a fire in here, that window opens. There's no screen.
that was right after.
Just
was
get
it
out.
no.
Was it Great White that had the
Yeah,
big fire?
they
and a
were
bunch
the
of people-
whole
it was-
thing
it
about
was-
the pyrotechnics
It was
burning down
right
the bar.
around that
Yeah.
time, and I was, oh
Yeah.
man. So after that, I planned my exits
Sure. Yeah.
for sure.
I'm gonna start. Yeah.
Yep. I want to say that particular show that burned the bar down really like changed the landscape of
Good.
where you can have pyrotechnics, and it's very like strict.
That's probably for the best, huh?
Probably for the best, I'm thinking, yeah.
Yep.
All right, I want to segue this into Q&A time because we
More
actually
pyro.
got a lot of. I want to segue this into more pyro and loudness.
Shout out to Rammstein.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna pop over there and we'll do this thing.
Is it a rapid fire?
What are we doing?
No.
Rapid fire Q&A.
No, we don't have
Go.
to do rapid fire. This can be just like
Mother's
regular
maiden
fire.
name, social security number.
That would be funny.
That would be funny, but
I don't know.
Let's
I don't
move
actually
some
know.
stuff around here. Yeah. I can't
Social
remember.
Security number? I have a lot of numbers running through my head.
All right, let's start with this first super unique, never been asked before question.
What kind of music do you play?
Who is your biggest influence? But you can read the. I'll read the whole. Steven, you want to read it or you want me to read it?
I can read it.
Let's hear
sure.
it. You got the voice. Let's hear it.
Who is your biggest influence?
Wow, that's good.
Famous. So your biggest famous influence, your biggest not famous influence.
All right.
Go ahead.
No, that's you.
No,
man.
you first.
That's you.
No, you first.
I can't answer that
I
one.
don't
There's too
know.
many.
Okay, I love Natalie Merchant. I listened to her going oh my god, her and 10,000 Maniacs when I was a kid. Like it's insane how much I listened to her.
But she sounds nothing like her.
I know, isn't that funny how that happens?
That is totally a thing. You would think by now I would sound exactly like Solierna,
I know.
but I sound nothing like him when I sing.
Everywhere we go, people come up and say, "You sound just like Natalie Merchant."
Did you know you sound Natalie?
and I
Natalie
can't
Merchant?
hear it.
I do sound like Natalie Merchant.
So my biggest influence probably would have been Fat James because he was like 600 pounds.
Fat James.
Fat James was a local Seattle blues guy. He just
Never
passed
heard
away
of
a few years ago. He was a monster. He was playing blues at the early grunge days and the pre-grunge days in Seattle, and
So
just
he was
amazing.
He was just totally
Played a Strat.
against the grain.
Oh yeah, he played a Strat, and he had an old Fender amp, and I've been chasing that tone ever since.
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of a
Absolutely.
blues guy
Same.
by trade, so I'm looking at your wall. You
Hell
got
yeah.
BB and Ray Charles and Stevie, and
Hell yeah.
that's where most of my influence comes from.
Respect, dude. I always
Nice.
And Fat James, because he was like
someone
600
says that,
pounds.
I'm always like, me too.
Oh, yeah.
Although this is just a 355. RJ, the guy we keep talking about, actually has the 345. That's like the
Oh, yeah.
legit BB King like guitar.
Oh, nice.
Does it have the Veritone on it?
It must.
You know what they say about the Veritone? Position 1 sounds like the guitar.
Yeah.
Position 2 sounds like BB King.
Yeah.
The rest sound like shit.
Good to know. I'm about to get one and put it on 2 all day.
I'm just
I just picked up a 335 that I need to get on a stage.
What color?
Red.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Like is it matte or gloss?
It's gloss. It's not a Gibson. It's made
Pretty boy.
It's made by a company. They were up in Vancouver, and they sourced the instrument. They sourced all the parts out of Korea, I think, and then they assembled them up there and then hand painted them. So I found a Les Paul a couple years back that's like shiny flake gold with red flames on it, and it's just amazing, and it played well. So I bought it strictly on looks.
I
I was like, I don't care what it sounds like. Yeah, exactly. So then I found their 335.
I totally get that.
I found the 335 on Reverb and just bought it here a couple weeks ago, and
That is
really
funny.
need to go.
So Fat James, who is your famous influence?
Famous. I mean, those guys.
Okay.
BB King, yeah.
all the Kings.
All Kings, all the Ravons, which is 2. Or it's not a Ravon. Jimmy Ray. It's not. It's Jimmy Lee.
I'm not a big fan of Jimmy.
I don't know how anyone honestly. If anyone's honest with themselves, I don't know how they could be.
Yeah, I've had that fight many times.
I hate saying it in the off chance he'll ever see that clip. But it's not like the first time he's in
Hey
it.
man, your brother was better than you, right?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Everybody's not Mario.
Stevie was
Somebody's gonna
better
have to be a
than
Luigi.
fucking everybody.
Everybody. Really. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Hopefully nobody takes offense to that. He was just the best.
God, he was so good. Huh?
He was so good.
We talked a lot about stories from the past, but what about a funny story of you two during a gig that stands out?
God, who's this K-Dub chick?
I don't know, but they're into you.
I don't know. My favorite one was when we went to the bar and it was full of deaf people and they were super excited for us to be there. And I'm like, what is happening?
No bass player, no drummer.
Wait, what?
Nope.
Nothing
We
for
walked
deaf
into a
people.
bar and it was completely full of deaf people, and they were all signing, and we were like, "What the hell?"
And they were so
And
excited.
they were super excited as we're setting up.
And you
Whoa.
performed.
Yeah, we played. They stuck around for.
I guess it
half
would be
the
cool,
show.
even if you can't hear it. It's like, what is that sound like? You think? Like,
I wonder. Yeah. Like,
I know.
maybe some of them
that
can hear
that
it, but I
has
don't know.
always bothered me. But there's like a real thing about deaf people going to shows. I will say something that's super cool. And I want to say Pain in the Grass, one of the bands had one, was a signer on stage doing the sign language.
I do love that.
And they're like a full-on performer. And it like,
that.
I don't know sign language, but it just looks cool to watch them do it.
I took 2
And
years.
I think
dude.
that's super cool.
and it's American Sign Language, so it's just English. So like,
Yeah.
if you don't know a word, you can just be like, "What is A B?" And spell the word, and then they'll teach you. So it's like really easy to learn and really fun.
oh, you
Oh,
really
I never
good.
thought about that.
We've had
Fun language.
children's parties at our shows.
Did the pizza party?
The pizza party with
Oh, you got something like that.
that was
that
weird.
was
When I
was
when I
interesting.
opened for the Juggler,
No, no, I'm talking about
kids' party?
your band with Dylan.
when he said we showed up to a kids party and then
Yeah.
bailed, I just don't think that's true. I feel like he made it up.
Oh,
Well,
made
he
that up.
sold it. I think he believes that happened, but I don't remember it.
ours 100% happened.
Yes.
We were setting up
100%.
and they brought in pizzas and,
and like 12 kids.
But you guys are listenable, nice music.
apparently.
Yeah, you're pretty. I mean, that's the thing. You guys are.
We would have left.
You're a
We would
very
have.
universal platform.
She had to change a few words at that show for
I
sure.
have kids. What can I say? It's funny too because my kids hear me curse all the time, but when I'm in front of other people's kids, I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say fuck.
You know what I've discovered in
No, I
this?
respect that.
That the same bar where all this stuff happens, the Otter in Tacoma, something interesting happens every time. I learned
It's in the name. It's an odd.
it is the Otter.
There you go.
I learned that giant Jenga is the most distracting thing to ever happen when I'm on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Especially if
giant
it's a hot girl
Jenga
playing
is
it.
so dangerous.
Is it?
What?
Is it?
Yeah.
If you have a child around or what? How giant are we talking?
Yeah.
Jenga.
It's
It's
giant
like the big
Jenga.
giant Jenga.
Yeah, why is it dangerous?
Oh, I was going way more giant than that.
Have you seen one?
I've seen
I was like, he's making this up?
Jenga literally with like 2x4s,
Oh.
and it's stacked like 5 feet high.
Okay, it's not
That's
super giant
That's
Jenga.
not that. That's
Okay.
We played
That's
that
what I
one
was
show,
thinking.
and
This
and
is medium giant.
we played that
Okay.
show, and there was 2 attractive females playing Jenga, and I was up there
Oh, that's just a full gamut of distraction.
just waiting for it to fall. Like, man, this was easier when I was drunk and I didn't have to pay attention to stuff.
Dude, the most annoying for me, and it's like oftentimes you can't avoid it, small restaurant usually, when you can hear people just having a conversation.
That's what
Yes.
in your
And you're
mind
trying to sing and remember lyrics, but you can,
Yeah,
you're actually
you
now
can hear
But now you're
listening to
specifically.
what they're saying.
because you're invested now.
It's like falling asleep with the TV on. It's like, fuck, I keep getting into the show now. I'm listening to the show.
Are they talking
I
about
can't
teeth whitener?
focus on
dude.
sleeping.
I want to get a TV in our room so bad because that would help me fall asleep 100%.
It does, huh? It does sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
That is what in-ear monitors are for, though.
Yeah. Sure.
I've got a set that's
True.
okay, and she hates them. So I
Yeah,
had to
I
go
get
to a
it.
floor monitor.
Old school.
But, man, put the earplugs in, and I can turn the volume down.
Dude, she's selling those sweatshirts live, old school, at a gig. You think she's gonna be wearing in-ear monitors?
I know
dude?
it.
That is
and you're a
so
tube
cool.
fanatic, dude. You guys are old school at
Very
the core.
old school.
Absolutely.
Very
I'm
old
seeing-
school.
I'm stoked to hear that acoustic guitar
Yeah,
mic
this is,
sometime.
we never did podcasts back in the rock and roll days.
Right?
don't-
I know. This is like what our main gig is now. We haven't practiced in like 3 or 4 podcasts.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck. But we also don't have any gigs or a drummer, so.
I just don't like being here very much either.
Nice.
Yeah, what happened to the dog?
Yeah, get someone fun and interesting. So,
This is
next
horrible.
question. What
Where's the
song,
dog at?
what song was the most difficult for you to write? Let's get deep, dude. Let's get philosophical. Let's get earnest.
Difficult?
Yeah, whatever your definition of difficult, I suppose. Margie D. Stotts. You know this person?
Yes. What
Tight.
is she thinking?
So Margie's definition of difficult. I'm thinking like, emotionally difficult.
Yeah, like you got something you want to write about,
It's
but it's
hard.
hard to even think about
I did it today.
that thing.
Yeah, I tried to do that today.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't really have that problem because like writing is actually like an outlet for me. It's kind of how I
Makes
process
sense.
a lot of those emotions and stuff. So like that's why I have so many things written
Oh,
because
that's so beautiful.
that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I'm trying to figure something out, I just do it. Where it gets hard is where I have to like actually stand up and sing in front of people because I wrote
Yeah.
a song and now I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's the most
Now they're gonna know
difficult part.
everything I'm thinking about. Do I really want to like,
And the funny part is you listen to other people sing and it's never like.
No, and the best songs are those ones that are like
Yes, of
super
course.
emotional that get you. And
But
I'm
that's
just like, okay,
why I
but-
don't write is because it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's the most vulnerable thing you
'cause
can do.
I-
And go
I-
sing it. Oh,
What you said is like spot on. Like it's supposed to be. That's where you're supposed to be allowed to go to those places in life, right? To talk about those things. It's like perfect. But I feel like even still,
it doesn't
like,
feel good.
Yeah, when
like
you're
someone's gonna judge me.
when you're trying, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
When it's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh my,
They
I'm
probably
really like putting myself out here, and that's horrifying.
Yes, it is.
And
I
I've
would
got
agree
none
with
of that. There is absolutely zero emotions behind my chords.
Nice. He's like,
What?
structure.
It's
Imagine
math.
Got the major 7. Come on, that's got to be something.
It's math in my book with a little Easter egg thrown out for nerds like you. That's all it is.
Well, it worked on me.
And you're welcome.
It worked on me
I know.
100%.
That's what we are. I mean, usually BandHouse would be better if one of us paid attention to the lyrics, but
We don't though, man. It's totally. I go straight to the chords and the.
I go straight to the drums. I love.
Then we
hearing
went
the beats.
over the weekend. We saw our friend band play in at the Tractor Tavern. It's a girl that we did an open singer-songwriter deal with early
Brittany
on.
Collins.
And her,
I've never been to the Tractor.
oh man, it's amazing. It's a great.
There's a lot of
I
people.
think I
in
played
there.
there
A
once.
lot of people in there.
But I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
We
that's
played-
always been a venue I want to go to. That and the Neptune. I've never been in the
The
Neptune.
Neptune
either.
is badass. It looks exactly
Yeah.
like it did when I was 14. That
No
place
way.
is awesome.
Oh, I love
yeah,
that.
I love that place.
We like we said, we played with her at that singer-songwriter deal. She did solo. This is the first time that we haven't had a gig on the night of her gig, and her full band played. And I'd never seen their full band before, so I was watching, not paying attention to the words, and watching the guitar player, and he was playing his solo, and I was like, "Oh, dude, you need to go to the BB box right now." He sure as hell slid right up to the BB box.
You're like, my ears sang.
And I was like, I'm the only one here that noticed that. And I went up and talked to him. I was like, dude, I saw you.
Dude, that's what I love about the language of music.
You did it.
I saw you, and he's like, yeah.
The more you can put in of the language with putting your own twist on it, the better you can. But like playing the right notes in the right spot, like Stevie Ray Vaughan. He didn't come up with any licks. He's playing Albert King licks.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you
laughing at?
He's just playing them better than everybody else.
This just popped into my head, but Vaughn playing your guitar acoustic, and then he switches the pickup.
Oh, yeah. He had one of my electric guitars, and he was playing it, and he's like... It was unplugged, totally unplugged.
He's playing acoustic.
That actually turned into a TikTok that got a good amount of views.
Oh my god, that's legit. So funny.
That's badass.
All right, let's finish up this segment, and then we got another segment after this. But Stephen, will you read all of this with your deepest voice?
Okay. You steal Bill and Ted's phone booth for 5 minutes.
Phone booth.
What musician do you steal from all the time? And of all time, I think is what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
What musician do you steal from all of time, and what song would you perform with them?
Amazing.
Everything I do is stolen from somebody.
Beautiful.
Yes, everything is stolen.
Eric Clapton once said, "A good musician writes good music. A great musician steals great music."
Yep.
And I kind of lean on that.
I feel that statement, yeah.
All right.
And then she comes up with cool words.
On a side note.
All right, so you're going to go with Eric Clapton then?
I don't know. If I was going to play with somebody, probably Stevie. I mean, I would be out of my element.
That's just the thing. I would hate to play with Stevie.
Oh no.
I'd almost say like Kurt Cobain, just because I would be good. Yeah. I'd be like,
I can tell you a story about Kurt Cobain.
Oh, I could too.
I played with Kurt Cobain.
Okay.
What?
He lived in Olympia.
Let's hear about this.
It was pre Dave Grohl. And they lived in Olympia across the street from my cousin's house. And I was probably 9 years old. And, hey, I want to go play with those guys. So my uncle brought his guitar over, an acoustic guitar. And I went over there, and I knew like 3 chords. And I played with him, and then went back and didn't think about it for 20 years. And then Nevermind hit. And I was at my uncle's house, and we were listening to it. And he goes, "You know who those guys are, right?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Nirvana." "No, those are the guys that lived across the street from Vince." "What?"
That's wild. You're like, no, I know those.
Wow.
All right,
and it was Willie Nelson's guitar that I was playing.
Trigger?
Oh, very nice.
Well, it wasn't Trigger. It was my uncle won it.
Oh my God, I almost lost my mind.
My uncle won it. It's a Martin that my uncle won from the Nashville network back in the day. That was autographed.
Pretty cool.
It was autographed by Willie Nelson. So I might be the only person in the world that has played with Nirvana on Willie Nelson's guitar.
That's true. That's probably true.
That's a great story.
To clarify, on a side note, are you and Buck together or just platonic musical buddies? I feel like at this point in the podcast, it's not. I've
been wondering
what do you
that
think?
this entire time.
I'm gonna say you are.
Or what?
An item.
Oh, we're definitely a thing.
There you go.
Not that kind of thing, though.
Damn.
What?
We just write music. That's
they
it.
don't even know yet. That's the answer. No, okay. Just
I will tell you.
Musical buddies?
I will tell you. I met Meghanne on a dating site.
Yes.
I swiped on her picture because she was holding a guitar, and then she gave me the old, "I'm a singer-songwriter," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm a guitar player." And then we started playing music and forgot about everything else.
Awesome.
I love this girl to death. There is no way I could date her.
Yeah. Well, at least you guys are adult enough to know that.
She's nuts.
Crazy. Yeah, well,
I'm a girl. I'm allowed.
Her name comes first, Project.
It's true.
That's right.
It's true. I'm just the backup guitar player
Okay.
and CEO.
He just does math on the notes.
I know. I was thinking about this before I came over, though. It was like super funny. I was thinking about, like, there are band members that more or less go unnoticed, like they hold it together, right? Like the rhythm guitarist, a good amount of rhythm guitarists. It's less common to know like a bass player, like you have your few that but they hold it together. And then way the fuck down here is a guy playing acoustic guitar for a lady that sings beautifully, and it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like you could be on stage naked most of the time and they probably wouldn't even notice.
The only time I've been noticed was when she went and played without me.
Okay.
Like, where's that butt guy?
That's cool though. That's really where you're gonna get your. That's where you're gonna get your shine right there.
I mean, that's my job though, is to lay back and not get it.
And you have the right mindset for it.
I understand.
And I love talking to someone with that mindset because I know a lot of people looking at you, RJ, who doesn't ever play the back, doesn't ever want to play the back roll. RJ wants to be on the front row the whole time. I might beep his name.
That is 100%.
Even laughing guy who's like, "Oh, that's so stupid."
That is,
like, bitch, you're lucky to be here at all.
That is so loud.
Yeah,
you can still hear him.
Yeah, he wants to be the center of it. But that's why I love him too. So I don't know. But I love hearing you say all the things like, play the far away lick once and then just sit back and let her take it. Because when I heard it, I didn't hear that. I heard a song.
I mean, I can certainly show off on a guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go,
sure,
we can go.
Well, yeah, we're not all trained by Willie Nelson and Kurt Cobain.
Well, I never met Willie Nelson.
Well, still,
you played his guitar.
Trained by him.
You got that. You had the essence. That's all that you need.
You got it by osmosis.
I have.
There it is.
Let me ask you this: did that guitar smell like straight weed?
I don't know if I knew what weed was at that time. I was really young.
Oh, the question is, does weed smell like Willie Nelson's guitar?
I'm sure that it does smell like weed now, though.
Yeah. Now I'm sure of it.
I don't know whose weed it is.
I may not have known if it smelled like weed back then, but now I'm for sure it smells like weed now.
Yeah.
There's no way it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's just stained.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, we're about running out of time.
I did tell Meghanne in the beginning, though, that this will be the hardest relationship she's ever been in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, being in a band. I said being in a band is difficult.
It's not dissimilar to being in a relationship.
I mean, it's a little easier.
It's not terribly. Yeah, it's a little
easier having a girl there than a bunch of dudes.
Oh really?
But
really?
Oh yeah.
I never would have guessed.
Explain that.
I don't know. I guess I'm expect her to be nuts. I don't know.
Oh.
And she's a lot, even when she's nuts, she's a lot more rational than the dudes who are in our 20s.
Shots fired, folks.
No, I have.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe you have a little bit.
I have. Yeah, we do fight like we're married sometimes.
That's why I guessed it. I totally did.
But it doesn't last long.
Yeah.
I don't know what about.
Yep.
That's funny.
That's okay. See, I was wondering the whole time, and I was leaning towards they're together. So
that's musical. People always lean towards that we're together, but we've just been best friends since birth.
No,
I know. Me and Dylan, though. We look like an item sometimes. We walk around.
Well, it's because you're holding hands. That's the weird part.
And Dylan. We may be holding hands.
You guys do have quite.
Dude, I like when he was reading the thing. We both did the echo, but on different words.
It was perfect.
That was hilarious.
What?
When you were reading the thing, you had a pause, and I like time. Like we did a little echo. We both had the inclination to do that joke.
Oh,
because we're on the same
completely
age.
Forgot that.
Buck and I.
I got it.
Oh yeah.
I caught that.
Oh yeah.
The 1465 brothers.
1-4.
The 251 boys.
1-5-6-4 major 7.
Oh, so good. Wait, here's one.
4 major 7.
What about just 1-5-6-4 1-5 minor 4 minor 4 for 2? Because it's sad.
You know what?
You're not even going to go back to the 1 after the minor.
Well, no, 4? It will on the resolve of the downbeat of perfect Kate. Right.
That's a plagal.
Is it still plagal if the 4 is minor?
I don't know.
It's because the 4 minor is kind of like a flat 6 chord. So it's a flat 6 to 1? What's that called?
That's nothing.
That is something.
It's got to be something.
I think you should name it.
Flat 6 1. I'm doing horrible inversions because I don't know how to play that instrument, but
yeah. I don't. 6.
All right. Well, whatever. Let's close this thing out.
Yeah,
with
you know what I like. You know what I like to do is play the verse and the chorus all in a happy major.
Oh, beautiful.
And make everybody all happy, and then for the bridge, straight minor.
Smart move. That is a great move.
And just knock him in the teeth, and then go back to happy.
Oh, dude, it worked the other way around too.
Yeah.
In a lesser cool way. I feel like that's a cooler way to do it.
That's like Backstreet Boys.
Do they do that?
Yeah, they always do the 5-6, and then their bridge is like a minor thing, but then they go back to.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, you're right.
They go back to their.
I totally get that.
Good. I want it that way.
Mm-hmm. What's the bridge is? What's the verse?
And then it's I want it that way. Now I can see that you're falling apart.
The relatively minor.
They know their
You know the
Backstreet
words.
Boys.
Dude, he's like, you gave it tone. I liked your deep tone. I want to get you singing again. It's a waste of voice to not sing.
Yes, sing.
He used to sing a lot more, but now he plays bass, so it's like,
Yeah.
you got it covered.
See, my
It's a little
Patrick
more
Swayze
fitting.
song isn't that bad of an idea. If they can do Backstreet Boys, we can do Patrick
we can
Swayze.
do Backstreet Boys. Well, no one said we can. We just did. We don't ask for permission here on BandHouse.
That song is so weird.
What's this Patrick Swayze?
Patrick Swayze.
I can't even-
Patrick Swayze song.
Yeah, what's the
You'd
song?
have
Like
to
the
ask your.
wind?
You'd have to ask your parents, I guess.
Well, I know who he is, but
Weird. It's a weird.
He released.
But
a
I don't
song.
know.
He released a song that's not good.
oh, I'd love to hear that.
What would
He's
you
like the
say?
wind.
What would you say is the most outlandish cover that you guys have ever done? Like,
Oh,
you
that
played
Weeknd
that, and they're
song.
like, "Where the fuck did that come from? I can't believe they
Weeknd.
just
That
played
Weekend song.
Which one?
You'd have to ask her because I've
Blinding
never heard
Lights.
it.
It's Blinding
that."
Lights.
Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights.
Yep, that's the one.
I can't see.
She sent it to me and said, "We're gonna do this one." And I was like,
Your touch.
"There's no music here. What do you?"
There's a great hard rock version of that song.
Yeah, I'm not,
there
I think I know it, but I don't know.
Well, there's actually two bands that did it, but the one that I like is Saint Asonia, which is the original singer from 3 Days Grace.
Okay.
Adam Gontier.
Is that hey!
Yes.
I can't get up there. That's up there. You had to be warmed up for that.
You should listen to that. That's a great
Is
cover
it?
of that. Oh, so good.
Tight.
Also,
All right.
I had that album. First 3 Days Grace album.
So young.
Such a whore for that post grunge,
Oh, that
like early 2000s
post-grunge.
muddle of Pud and 3 Days Grace.
Muddle of Pud.
Muddle
Yeah,
of Pud.
Three Doors Down.
You know, I
love Fingers
saw
Down.
a puddle of mud on a bill here recently.
No.
I was shocked. They're
They-
playing
th-
somewhere in Seattle.
That they're showing their face again
Really?
after that botched cover. Mm-hmm. That made him famous again, though. That shit was my girlfriend's favorite song for like a month.
Dude.
She listened to it nonstop. I'm like, you're an animal. You're an animal for listening to that. Steven actually has a perfect impersonation.
I need an easy friend.
Pretty good, dude. Pretty good.
That was pretty good.
But it's more.
Yeah.
Nirvana.
Anyway, if you guys wanted to point the viewers to your music, where would you point them first? Spotify? YouTube Music? All of the above?
Well, I mean, we don't on Spotify yet, but we will be.
Tight. And who knows? Yeah. So if you're watching this in the future, just check Spotify. It might be there.
It might be there already. Yeah.
Tight.
If you go to tmspmusic.com, that's our website.
Yes.
We'll have links to Facebook. We'll have links to the YouTube channel. We've got links to everything. Like,
TikTok.
share,
TikTok.
do
I
all
love
that
TikTok.
stuff.
TikTok's fun.
I love TikTok.
We made a lot of haters on TikTok.
I haven't done that yet.
It's pretty funny.
I'm working on it.
Because it's very young. So
I
like
don't
you
get TikTok. 'cause
you could say stuff like fuck digital amps, tubes for life, and it's going to piss off a lot of kids.
perfect.
But then you'll also have the like, yeah,
yeah.
tubes. But it's funny. It's like if you advocate for tubes, you're gonna get most of the digital guys.
Right.
But like I did a thing because I have a head rush pedal board. I'm like, get one of these. You don't have to warm up your tubes. Patch cables don't go out, and the whole. No, I want my analog shit, bro.
My favorite people were the ones. There was a lot of people that went, yeah, but I can't possibly justify all the money I've sunken into this pedal board. It's like I have to use the pedal board. I can't
use it. I can't justify this.
I don't like pedals. There's too many buttons.
Same.
I get lost.
Dude,
I start
samesies.
staring down it and what button should I hit first? And shiny lights. And I forget what
As
I'm
if
doing.
guitar's not hard enough to fully express yourself on.
My board,
Yep.
I've got a wah pedal that I never hit. Of
course.
I got two different overdrives. And then
for your cables to go through.
when I'm with the superchargers, I've got one. We play a I can't remember the name. We've got a chick singer.
Anne?
No. God, I can't remember. But we play one hard rock song. It's got just a distortion that I kick on, and that's it.
DS1.
No, it's not even. It's not even a DS1. It's just one of those little Amazon special ones.
You know what he's talking about? That laugh suggests you know the pedal. I don't know it.
That was good.
No, I don't know the pedal, but he got it from Amazon.
That's tight.
It was
Hey,
like
man,
it was like
Amazon.
$15. I used it for one song.
If you can find it on
So
Get this money worth.
it's funny you say that because I have heard that like you can build a shot-for-shot TS9 for like $10 or something.
Really?
Like,
I've
the circuitry
got-
is just so basic.
Really?
Yeah,
I've got a
that's what I've
pedal that
heard.
that a guy down in California made for me that my buddy Corey stole from me, along with my guitar. If you're watching this, I want my guitar back.
Should I flip them
Ooh.
on? Should I flip?
No.
Okay, I'll cut that out.
I'm flipping them off. Don't cut this one.
All right.
Corey Wild's band. He's playing at the Muckle Shoots on
Oh, it
Saturday.
is your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
he owned the company. It was built by Lynn Ellsworth, who built Boogie Body guitars.
Tight.
It's a Boogie Body. Corey played it for 10 years, got something else, sold it to me for nothing.
Tight.
And I played it for 10 years, and then it sat. And I showed up at a show one night, and I dropped it on stage and said, here, play this. And he won't give it back. Like, I hadn't played a show in years. So
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm not doing anything with this. Just go rock it for a while. And then
Yeah.
I instantly started playing shows again. I'm like, dude, can I have that guitar back? And it's his number one guitar again.
Well, shit.
But I had the Boss heavy metal, the HM1, that was one of the originals from Japan that I'd had since the 80s, and it sounded
Tight.
like ass.
But Japan.
In the 80s, it sounded like ass, and it
Right.
still today sounds like ass. And
Is it worth anything?
I saw they're selling for $250.
Yeah,
bucks.
that's what it's Japan.
And I was
Heavy
like,
metal, yeah.
so I put a thing on Facebook, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable selling this thing for $250 because
just-
it's ass. Somebody trade me something cool, and this guy is down in California.
Right,
and he
right.
said, I build pedals. I want this thing so I can reverse engineer it and build it. What do you want? And I was like, dude, just make me something cool.
Tight.
And he goes, okay, I've got
Dealer's choice.
I said, make me a TS9 like you would build it. So this pedal that I got is a combination of the TS9 and the DS1, and it sounds great on the single coil guitar. The humbuckers, it's not so great, but
yeah.
but then
Really?
but then hey Corey, check this out, and then he won't give it back.
That's how my whole pedal board is. I made it for my Strat, and then I played on the Gibson, and it's all wrong. It's just all
Man,
wrong.
my Speedster amplifier.
Ooh,
What-
Speedster.
What was that song? It's Take Me Down. Is that what it is?
To the Paradise City
No.
where the grass is green
No,
and the girls are
it's not a
pretty.
Guns N' Roses song.
Take me down.
That was good.
I don't remember, but
What's that one? Knocking.
Heaven's
How's it go?
Heaven's Dawa.
How's it go?
Dawa. But I played that song. That's the one that I got the pedal for, and I just bought an SG that had some hot pickups in it.
Nice.
And we were playing a show in Lake Chelan with the Superchargers, and I started playing this song, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best rock and roll tone I've ever had in my life. I better see what
best
pedals
moments.
are on. And I looked down and nothing was on. It was just that SG plugged into that Speedster, and I was like,
That's
oh
right.
my, that's why I spent that much money on
That's
this
right,
amp.
dude. It's
Oh
like
yeah, I
that.
remember now.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you did bring a guitar. I did see that. I was
did.
wondering if I did see that. So you guys want to perform a song for us, or are you just going to show off a guitar? What do you want to do?
Sure.
You want to sing one?
Yeah.
Because I can set up. I can make
Yeah.
it perform.
I can make it perform
I can
me
make
in
it
here.
perform me in
like
here.
a puppeteer.
Let's do a sign off of the podcast, and then guys, after you've watched this podcast, click on the link to go watch the performance
Yeah.
and
And
check
go
out their
see
music.
Meghanne Storey Project. What's the place in Gig Harbor?
Seven Seas Brewery.
Seven Seas Brewery.
I'll put a
Let's
link
go.
right there with the date and everything. And you're going to want to hear them live because that guitar is going to have special cool sounds.
It's got 3 microphones.
That's crazy cool.
inside of it.
Is that standard and I'm
Plugged
geeking
directly.
out over nothing, or is that really cool?
I don't know.
It's good for you.
I mean,
It does the job. To me, that sounds legit. We'll have to ask RJ. And
I
get
did.
his
I did a
opinion.
lot of research on pickups for
Sure.
acoustic guitars because I hate a piezo pickup under the saddle. It just, I've got a PRS that
That's-
sounds
yeah.
great acoustic, and I hate it plugged in. Yeah. So I was just actually talking to my guitar guy the other day. He's gonna pull the electronics.
Who's your
out
guitar
for
guy?
us. His name's John from Tuned Up Guitars in Auburn.
Shout out to John from Tuned Up Guitars. We like to
If you need-
support our
If you need any,
luthiers.
especially Martin work, he's the Martin master.
Oh shit! I need so much Martin work. Not so much, but
You
like
just found a guy.
the electronics don't work right now.
You just found
So
a
it's
guy.
just a strict acoustic guitar.
So you take the
Very
electronics out and you
nice.
put one of these pickups in.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of research.
But I want him to do it.
I did a lot of research to find out what pickup to put in. I mean, this
That's
is a
cool.
very expensive instrument, and I didn't want to cut holes in it.
Right, without doing it.
Yeah, and I don't. there's nothing worse than showing up with an acoustic guitar with no battery in it. You can't play.
Yeah.
Because I can stand in front of a mic, but then I'm stuck. So that's the one that I came up with, and I'm more than happy with them.
All right,
K&K Pure Vintage.
Vintage. So you're a combination of vintage gear and an Amazon pedal.
Yeah.
I love it.
So good.
And great band names.
I actually,
great band names,
I have in my guitar room a 1962 Fender.
Not Stratocaster.
No.
Oh.
My Strats are all newer.
I was like, do they even go back that far? What's the first year of Stratocaster? 62 is this year. He played a 62.
I think
mostly.
62.
And 63 for,
But I found a
That's
couple
a telly
of,
then.
I found a couple of vintage amplifiers that one of my friends had.
It's an amp?
I've got a 64 Twin that's in pieces that needs to be fixed.
Do you know how to do all that, or you got?
No, I got a guy to do that.
I was like,
too.
whoa, you're. Cool.
But then I've got
you're a valuable guy.
Then I've got a 62 Vibroverb, which is his amp.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's all completely 100% stock with the 15-inch in it, and the CTS 15 in it.
A 15 for a guitar amp?
Yeah.
That's like a bass thing, huh?
That is. It's not even. No, actually, what's weird is bass speakers are usually do 10s, and guitar amps are usually 12s.
He's really turning into a bass player. Dude,
so that's really weird. 15 is well, like you can do a 15. Like I want to say Flea, that when he was doing Galley and Kruger, he would have a 410 cab sitting on a 115.
All right. Yeah. 115.
That
I think my old bass player's rig
is huge for a guitar.
That acoustic is 115, I think.
Is that it?
I think I could see it.
Yeah.
I think my bass player's
I'm
rig
measuring it from over here.
on an 18.
410s on a...
I think he had 410s on an 18 cab.
18-inch speaker?
Yeah. You could feel it when he'd play.
That's thing?
That's bizarre.
Woo-wee.
That is bizarre.
We were loud.
That's tight. That's tight as fuck. All right. Well, we usually close out. In fact, we haven't done this in a long time, but we used to close out with words of inspiration. And they sometimes are satire, and sometimes they're really helpful. Like to the youth, if you could speak to your musician self and say, "Don't give up." All that inspiring stuff.
That's easy.
Or hit it.
Easy.
Hit it.
Practice. Just practice.
Everybody's waiting. With their pen and paper with profound
I started
advice.
playing guitar. My first guitar lesson was in August of 1987. If I would have practiced just a little bit every day from 1987, I would be unstoppable.
Be a champion.
My picture would be hanging on the wall with those guys.
But now he's merely just project.
I'm just a project.
You just project.
Yeah, you can there's always somebody better than you. Mm-hmm. There's always something to learn. Mm-hmm. Just keep practicing. Keep learning.
You can't compare yourself to other people and make yourself feel down. Just learn what you can from them and move forward.
Pretty much.
Meghanne, you got anything?
This is going to be good. She's a wordsmith.
That's right. No pressure.
I really don't have anything. I mean, to tell myself...
I suppose someone who you'd see yourself in, someone who's coming up in the music world and they don't know what they're going to do and they have a talent and they don't know what to do with it.
Just do it.
Boom. That's such a beautiful, beautifully, well, obviously overstated, but that's actually helped us.
I'm pretty sure Nike used that.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody has that. No, that's got us through this. I remember that specifically. Just try. Just do it.
Just do it. You just have to just do it.
Because it sounded silly to do a podcast. It was like 14 years past their prime or whatever, and now it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's a fun thing that I'm glad we started doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just do it. Steven, you want to close out with some good stuff?
Oh, boy.
Here, maybe this will help.
Let's see.
One of those.
Totally meant to do that.
That's the jazz note.
That's a happy accident.
I would say when you're songwriting, do something basic, but then just change it a little bit. Like make your 4 a major 7. And all of a sudden you got a way new song. 1 5 6 4 1 5 6 1 5 6 4 1 5 4 1 5 6 5 1 5 6 1 6 6 6 5 6 4 1 4 4 5 4 4 6 1 4 It was a 1-5-6-4. But the 4, it was a 1-5-6-4. But the 4, they did a major 7. They did a major 7. They did a major